Shalom, Israel, Shalom, Brother Nahum, with the exhortation through the Spirit. First off, we want to give all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahweh Shah. Hey, man, this exhortation video through the Spirit, Most High willing to be a little faith booster, a little pick-me-up, like Jake said in the word. But the name of this video is Finding Comfort in This Madness, because everything we see now is the works of the Most High, but it's evil, it's wickedness, it's madness, with hints of righteousness sprinkled very well. Brothers and sisters, repenting, keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments, trying to do their best not to fall victim to the flesh and the wicked ways of this world, Esau, the other nations, and Satan. But we're going to kick it off with the Brother Paul. It's the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse number 1. And it reads, "But I determined this with myself, that I would not come again to you in heaviness." Paul saying, hey, man, I decided myself that I ain't going to put this burden on you. It's just burdensome enough being in this world, being alive, doing the will of the Most High in a world that's wicked. When everybody wants you to do the ways of the world and follow the ways of your flesh. Paul said what? 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 1. "But I determined this with myself, that I would not come again to you in heaviness. For if I make you sorry, who is he then that maketh me glad? But the same which is made sorry by me." Because Paul is saying right here, hey, man, if I make y'all sad, ain't going to be nobody to lift me up, to help me out, to keep me going in this thing. If I make y'all sad, then it ain't going to be no hope for me, because I need y'all just like y'all need me. That's the reason that the Most High got our brotherhood set up. That's why we always supposed to trust in our brothers and do everything that we supposed to do through the Spirit with our nation, as a nation, with unity. Read verse 2 again, 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 2. "For if I make you sorry, who is he then that maketh me glad? But the same which is made sorry by me." So if I make you sad and sorrowful in these last days, then I can't expect you to be uplifting in me in the spirit when I go through something, when I'm dealing with something. That's why we got to lift one another up in these last days through keeping the precepts, following these laws, statutes, and commandments, being a friend, a brother, a sister, a man, walking in righteousness, like it, in this truth. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 37 and verse number 12. "But be continually with a godly man, whom thou knewest to keep the commandments of the Lord, whose mind is according to thy mind, and will sorrow with thee if thou shalt miscarry." Because that's how we got to hold one another accountable, by the standard of keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments. And we're going to be sorrowful with one another. We're going to be rejoiceful with one another. But we're going to walk together in unity, like Amos 3 and 3 say. But also, this is the main point, that why we have to hold one another accountable and lift each other up and not be sorrowful in these last days. Proverbs 17 and 17. "A friend loveth at all times, and a brother is born for adversity." Because that's why we here. That's why we exist. We don't even know how much, hey, man, a text message, a phone call, a FaceTime, a breakdown video with the brothers, or exhorting your brothers and sisters, can lift somebody's spirits up. Get them over that hump that they're going through for the day, for that minute, for that hour, for the week. Hey, that one exhortation that you give your brothers through the Spirit, or sisters, that might get them to the kingdom. You never know. That's why we always got to be suffering together. And we can never let what we're going through and what we see and get us down to the point where we can't find comfort in these last days. Because if we do, that's going to cause these spirits to hop on us even more and even more and even more. And then it's going to be even harder to face Satan, because then you're going to be more willing to give in to Satan in the flesh. Let's go to the book of Psalms. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 105. And we're going to start from the top. It's the book of Psalms, chapter 105 from the top. "Oh, give thanks unto Yahweh. Call upon his name. Make known his deeds among the people." Because that's what we're seeing. Brothers out here doing these exhortation videos, out here doing these prophecy videos, out here doing camp videos of brothers being at camp, out here doing debate videos. All of this stuff right here are the works of the Most High. And we making known his deeds among the people. Why? Because we showing how the Most High brought brothers into this truth, brought sisters into this truth, sustaining brothers and sisters in this truth, got them out of a life of sin and got them doing the will that He wanted them to do, and following His ways and not the ways of the flesh, finding that comfort that they seek for in the world, but they couldn't find it in the world, but they found it in the Most High. Psalms 105:1. Oh, give thanks unto the Lord, call upon His name, make known His deeds among the people, sing unto Him, sing psalms unto Him, talk ye of all His wondrous works. And that's what we're doing in these last days. We see it's a wonderful thing that the Most High is bringing these nations together to start World War III. Because we know the closer that they get to coming together and starting World War III, it's the closer that we getting to getting up out of here. Yahweh Shai's on the way back. His wonderful works, like I'm sitting outside right now at the doctor's office with my daughter, and you can look at nature and see the flowers blooming, how it's warm outside today, but it's not hot. Looking at the clouds and the formation of the clouds, it's just beautiful. The wondrous works of the Most High. And then we also see these works of the Most High in righteousness, where the Most High is paying back these other nations for what they've done to the children of Israel since the beginning of time. How you see all these other nations fighting and going to war. How you see all these other nations coming up against the children of Israel and they not having as much success as they used to. Jake with the brothers that start circulating the video again about the Alabama boat incident where Jake came together. That's unity. That's the comfort in these last days. Brothers doing exhortation videos. All these things are comforts in deeds and works of the Lord. They wondrous works. Psalms 105:2. Sing unto Him. Sing psalms unto Him. Talk ye of all His wondrous works. Glory ye in His holy name. Let the heart of them rejoice. They seek the Lord. Because everybody is seeking the Lord. Hey, man, the Most High still got His spirit on the earth. So everybody that's seeking the Lord in honesty and sincerity is finding Him in one way or another. And it's bringing them to this truth, back to who they really are. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans here in America, in the Americas, are the Israelites. They waking up in these last days. Those are some of the most wonderful works that the Most High doing. Jumping down to verse 4, Psalms 105:4. Seek Yahweh and His strength. Seek His face evermore, because that's what brothers and sisters is doing. Verse 5, remember His marvelous works that He hath done, His wonders, and the judgments of His mouth, because the Most High said He was going to destroy these nations. The Most High said He was going to destroy us as a people. The Most High said it was going to be signs in the suns and the moon that we can see before the destruction come, before the day of wrath comes. And we seeing these things. We done have blood moons. We done been able to come back to our heritage. We see the actual land of Israel over there, those heathen that are in the land today that's in possession of the land. Hey, man, they fighting, and they getting ready to fight with everybody. And the people that they joining together with and fighting against is Bible prophecy. We don't want to say no names because we don't know how much Esau is doing in these days, but those that have ears to hear, they're going to hear it, and they're going to understand through the Spirit. All of these are the wonderful words of the Lord that He's prophesied through His prophets throughout the Bible. Verse number 5, Psalms 105:5. Remember His marvelous works that He hath done, His wonders, and the judgments of His mouth. O ye seed of Abraham, His servant, ye children of Jacob, His chosen. He is Yahweh, our power. His judgments are in all the earth. And we see that in these last days. How hyperinflation got these other countries, they so-called third world countries, they got their economies crashing. Their currency is not worth anything, which is slowly creeping up on America. This hyperinflation about to hit. That's one of the things that the Most High promised was going to happen. And He going to do these things. Why? To show His wrath, to show His might, to show His will to these people that believe and to those that don't believe in these last days. But we have to see these things and we have to find the comfort in them, knowing that it's all prophesied to happen. So we can't be weary. We can't get too weary. We can't go astray. We can't fall out this thing worrying about, man, I'm going through this, I'm going through that. I ain't got no way to pay my bills. I'm about to be homeless. I can't afford this. I can't put gas in this. I'm fighting and arguing with my baby mama. All of that stuff is designed to happen from the Most High, and it's part of the curses that's going to happen to us as a people. We got to remember that in these last days. Everything that we're going through as a nation and as individuals, the Most High said what's going to happen in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. Everything. But with that being said, we have to remember what Yahweh told us through the Spirit. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 2, and verse number 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison. Hold on. I'm going to read that again. Revelation 2 and 10. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Everything we're going through, we ain't supposed to fear this, man. We're supposed to look at this as a sign. It's the Most High said we're going to go through this. Yahweh himself said we're going to go through this stuff. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil, the deceiver, the other nations, shall cast some of you into prison. Some of us going to go to prison for this word, for speaking this truth, for standing on this truth. Some of us going to die for this, man. We're not worried about that. Only thing we worry about is doing the will of the Most High, regardless of what lie he got us standing in. The devil shall cast, Salakia, fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. That's what we got to do in these last days, man. We got to be faithful unto death, and even after death. When we go into the wilderness again, and we pass under that rod, Most High willing, we're alive to make it to that point. Yahweh Shah said, what? Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. When Yahweh Shah give us that crown of life, ain't nobody can take that away. That's what we striving for. That's what we aiming for. That's what we shooting for. That's what we working for. That's what we came out the world for. That's what the Most High made us for. It's the book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse number 28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. The Most High, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah, is fighting for us every day when we keeping these commandments. We're not getting caught up with our neighbors' wives in adultery. We wearing our fringes. We not eating pork. The simplest of commandments to the most complex commandment. Keeping the Sabbath day. Keeping the high holy days. Not offending your brother. Having faith. All of these things gonna cause the Most High to do what? Sirach 4 and 28. Strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. I don't want nobody else fight for me, because can't nobody else win like the Most High Yahweh Shah gonna win. But we gotta have that faith, man. It's imperative that we keep that faith and we find the comfort, and it's all this affliction that we're going through in these last days. This is an account of a brother of an Israelite that had faith. It's the book of Luke, chapter 19, and verse number 1. And Yahweh Shah entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. The chiefest tax collector, Salakia, of our people. And he sought to see Yahweh Shah, who he was, and could not for the press, because he was little of stature. Meaning Zacchaeus wanted to see Yahweh Shah, wanted to lay eyes on him himself. But why he couldn't? Because of all the people around him running to see Yahweh Shah, and him being a shorter brother, he couldn't see Yahweh Shah. So what did Zacchaeus do? He proved his faith to Yahweh Shah, how much he believed in. Verse number 4. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. And when Yahweh Shah came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. Everybody else is coming around Yahweh Shah. And it would be easy for the short man to say, I couldn't see him. I was in the crowd and making excuses and stuff like that. Or the man that was blind or couldn't walk, say that I couldn't get to him because I'm blind, I couldn't see my way. Or the man that couldn't walk, I can't get to him because I can't walk, my legs don't work. I believe that man that couldn't walk, if it's a man out here that can't walk today that want to see Yahweh, he going to crawl to him. If it's a man out here that's blind today that want to see Yahweh, he going to ask the people to lead him to her. And Yahweh will allow him to see him through the Spirit. Just like he did the man in Mark chapter 8. He seen men walking around as trees. We believe these things because that's what faith does. Reading verse 5 again, Luke 19:5. And when Yahushua came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at thy house. And he made haste and came down and received him joyfully. Hey, man, that's comfort. Knowing that Yahushua chose you out of all these people. Why? Because he's seen your faith. Even though you were short, you had enough faith to crawl up in that tree because you wanted to see him. Even though you living in this world of sin, you had enough faith to stop doing the stuff that you was doing, committing the sin that you was committing. Why? Because you want to see Yahushua through the Spirit and when he come back. Verse number 7. And when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was going to be guest with a man that is a sinner, as we all are. Verse number 8. And Zacchaeus stood and said unto the Lord, Behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor, and if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I restore him fourfold. Hey, man. If he took anything by a false accusation for anybody, he said he gonna give it to him 4 times as much as what it was. That's being righteous through the Spirit, according to the law. And Yahweh said unto him, This day is salvation come to his house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. Yahweh acknowledged that Zacchaeus is an Israelite also. For the Son of Man is come to seek and save that which was lost. The Most High, by Hashem Yahweh, not going to forget the righteous works that we do. He's not going to just let us be out here worshiping him and not give us anything for it. He's going to give us everything that we need. And most importantly, if we keep the faith and we fight to the end, he's going to give us salvation from our enemies. And we got to have that faith and patience to get that. It's the book of Revelation, chapter 14 and verse number 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Yahweh Shah. Because the only way that you can get into heaven is by having that faith in Yahweh Shah and keeping these laws, statutes, and commandments in these last days. All throughout history, our forefathers kept the laws, statutes, and commandments. So why don't we? That's something that we got to work on. That's something that we got to do as a people. And we have to have the faith in Yahweh Shah. Because look, we know, like James chapter 2 says, faith without works is dead. We have to have that faith in these last days. Why? Because that faith, keeping these words, believe that faith in Yahweh Shah goes back to the law, Deuteronomy 18 and 19. Keeping these commandments, that's the works to go along with that faith. And that's what the truth is. Matter of fact, let's get that. John 17 and 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is true. And we're going to already know that these laws, statutes, and commandments coming from Yahweh Shah by way of the Most High is what we have to keep, what we have to do to get salvation. Revelation 14 and 12 just told us that. Yahweh Shah said what? John 17 and 17. Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. And what else did Yahweh Shah say about the truth? It's the book of John, chapter 8 and verse number 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Like Paul told us, we dead to sin, and we can't be slaves to sin no more. And how do we do that? By following this truth, these laws, statutes, and commandments. Yahweh Shah just told us that the word is truth. We know that these laws, statutes, and commandments is truth. According to King David also, the book of Psalms, chapter 119 and verse number 142. But all you got to do is believe in the Lord. We're going to get this last precept, this closing precept, because this is the comfort. This is the comfort that we're going to get in these last days. And this is how we're going to get this comfort. The book of Nahum, chapter 1 and verse number 7. And Yahweh is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. the Most High already knows who trusts in him. How? Because you're doing the best that you can to keep these laws, statutes, and commandments. To walk in this truth as a righteous brother, sister, as a righteous Israelite. Brother Nahum, with the exhortation through the Spirit, giving all honor, glory, and praise to the Most High God, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Find this comfort in this tribulation that we're going through. Find your comfort in your day-to-day affliction that you go through. Because all this affliction is nothing compared to the joy that we're going to have when we make it up out of here, when we see the salvation and the destruction of our enemies. Most High willing, all brothers and sisters endure. Keep the commandments, keep the faith. Find your comfort in whatever you can in righteousness. Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Shalom, Israel.